Emma stood frozen, her hands trembling as she clutched the small white stick. Across the marble table, Marcus Williams, the man she'd loved for 3 years, stared at her with eyes colder than winter steel. Pregnant. He laughed. It wasn't a happy laugh. It was the kind of laugh that makes your stomach hurt. How much do you want? Before we begin the story, comment below where you're watching from. Enjoy the story. Please subscribe to my channel for more sweet videos like this. Let the story continue. Emma felt like someone had punched her in the chest. What? Marcus pulled out his checkbook, his expensive watch glinting under the chandelier lights. Don't play stupid. Every woman has a price. 50,000? 100,000. He clicked his gold pen. Name it, and this problem disappears. The problem. That's what he called their baby. Emma's vision blurred with tears, but she wouldn't let them fall. Not here. Not in front of him. But wait, let's go back to where it all started. 3 years earlier. Emma Clark was 22 when she first saw Marcus Williams. She was working at Sunrise Coffee Shop, wearing her faded apron and wiping down tables after the morning rush. Her feet hurt, her back ached, and she had exactly $17 in her bank account. Then he walked in. Marcus didn't just enter a room, he owned it. Tall, sharp suit, dark hair perfectly styled. Everyone stopped and stared. Even Mrs. Henderson, who was 90 years old and never looked up from her crossword puzzle. Large black coffee, he said, his voice smooth like chocolate. Emma's hands shook as she made his drink. She'd seen rich people before, but Marcus was different. He had this power around him, like a force field. Here you go. She smiled nervously. Their fingers touched when he took the cup. Emma felt electricity shoot up her arm. Marcus looked at her, really looked at her. His dark eyes seemed to see right through to her soul. What's your name? Emma. Emma. He repeated it slowly, like he was tasting each letter. I'm Marcus. He came back the next day. And the day after that. And the day after that. By the second week, he was asking her questions. What did she dream about? What made her laugh? What scared her? Emma told him everything. She told him about her mother, who died when she was 10. About her father, who drank himself to death 3 years later. About the foster homes that never felt like home. About her dream to finish college and become a teacher. Marcus listened like every word mattered. You're special, Emma, he said one rainy afternoon. Different from everyone else. Emma's heart soared. Nobody had ever called her special before. On their first date, Marcus took her to the fanciest restaurant in the city. Emma wore her only nice dress, a simple blue one from the thrift store. She felt like Cinderella. You're beautiful, Marcus whispered, holding her hand across the table. Emma believed him. Emma moved into Marcus's penthouse apartment. It was like living in a palace. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the entire city. The kitchen had marble countertops and appliances Emma didn't know how to use. The bedroom was bigger than her entire childhood home. But the best part? Marcus came home to her every night. How was work? Emma would ask, bringing him his favorite drink. Marcus ran Williams Tech, a company worth billions. Emma didn't really understand what they did, something about software and computers, but she knew it was important. Stressful, Marcus would sigh, pulling off his tie. Everyone wants something from me. Emma would massage his shoulders and listen to him talk. She loved taking care of him. But there were rules. Don't ask about his work meetings. Don't call him during business hours. Don't embarrass him in front of his friends. Don't gain weight. Don't look messy. Don't. Emma followed every rule perfectly. She wanted to be the girlfriend Marcus deserved. At night, when he held her close, everything felt right. I love you, Emma whispered into the darkness. Marcus's arms tightened around her. You're mine, Emma. Always remember that. The first crack appeared on a Tuesday. Emma was organizing Marcus's office when she found a photo tucked inside a drawer. A beautiful blonde woman stood next to Marcus at the beach. They were laughing, their arms wrapped around each other. "Who's this?" Emma asked casually that evening. Marcus barely glanced at the photo. "Nobody important. An old friend." But the woman didn't look like just a friend. And Marcus's face had gone strange, tight and closed off. Emma told herself not to worry. Everyone had a past. Then the late nights started. "Board meeting," Marcus would say, kissing her forehead. "Don't wait up." He'd come home at 2 in the morning, smelling like expensive perfume that wasn't Emma's. "Why do you smell like perfume?" Emma asked once, trying to sound playful and not scared. Marcus's eyes went hard. "Are you accusing me of something?" "No. I work around people, Emma. Professional people. Not everyone spends their day in a coffee shop." The words stung like a slap. Emma had quit her job when she moved in, just like Marcus wanted. "I'm sorry," Emma whispered. Marcus softened. He pulled her close and kissed her hair. "I'm stressed. Forgive me." Emma always forgave him. Emma started noticing more things. The text messages Marcus quickly deleted. The phone calls he took in the other room. On the weekends, he suddenly had to work. But Emma pushed the worries down deep. She loved Marcus. Love meant trust. Besides, she had news. Amazing, terrifying, life-changing news. Emma had been feeling sick for 2 weeks. Tired all the time. Nauseous in the mornings. Her period was late, really late. She took 3 pregnancy tests. All positive. Emma stared at those 2 pink lines and felt her whole world shift. A baby. Their baby. Terror and joy wrestled in her chest. They'd never talked about kids. What would Marcus think? But surely he'd be happy. They loved each other. They'd been together for 3 years. A baby was a blessing, right? Emma planned everything perfectly. She'd tell him at dinner, at their favorite restaurant, the same place they'd had their first date. She'd make it romantic and special. She wore her prettiest dress, did her hair and makeup, practiced what she'd say 100 times in the mirror. "Marcus, we're going to have a baby. Marcus, you're going to be a father. Marcus, I'm pregnant." The words sounded beautiful in her head, full of hope and love and future. The restaurant was exactly as Emma remembered. Soft lighting, quiet music, roses on every table. But Marcus seemed distant. He kept checking his phone, his jaw tight. "Is everything okay?" Emma asked. "Fine." He didn't look at her. Emma's hands felt sweaty. Her heart pounded so hard she could hear it in her ears. "Just tell him. Tell him now. Marcus, I have something important to tell you." He glanced up, annoyed. "Can it wait? I have a conference call in an hour." "It's really important." Marcus sighed and put his phone down. "What is it?" Emma pulled out the pregnancy test. She'd wrapped it in pretty paper with a ribbon, trying to make it special. Marcus opened it, looked at the white stick. His face went blank. The silence stretched and stretched and stretched. "Well," Emma's voice came out small and scared. "Say something." That's when Marcus started laughing. That cold, cruel laugh that would haunt Emma's nightmares for years. "Pregnant." He threw the test on the table like it was trash. "How much do you want?" Emma's mind went fuzzy. "What?" Marcus pulled out his checkbook, his movements sharp and angry. "Don't play games. Every woman has a price. This is clearly a trap, and I'm not falling for it." "A trap?" "Marcus, we're having a baby." "We're not having anything." His voice was ice. "I don't know whose baby that is, but it's not mine." The words hit like bullets. Emma couldn't breathe. "How can you say that? We've been together for 3 years. I've never even looked at another man." Marcus leaned forward, his handsome face twisted into something ugly. "You think I'm stupid? You think I don't know what you are? A poor girl who landed a rich boyfriend and wants to trap him with a baby. That's not 50,000. Marcus wrote a number on the check. Take it and get rid of it. Or don't, I don't care. But you're not pinning this on me. Emma stood up on shaking legs. The restaurant spun around her. People were staring, whispering. I thought you loved me. Marcus's laugh was sharp as glass. Love you? Emma, you were fun for a while. Pretty, eager to please. But love? He shook his head. I'm engaged to be married to someone from my world. Someone appropriate. Did you really think someone like me would end up with someone like you? Engaged. The word exploded in Emma's brain. You're engaged. For 6 months, Marcus spoke casually, like he was discussing the weather. Veronica Ashford. Her father owns Ashford Industries. It's a merger as much as a marriage. Smart business. Emma felt like she was drowning. But what about us? There is no us. There never really was. Marcus stood, buttoning his jacket. Take the money or don't. But stay away from me. If you try to contact me again, my lawyers will destroy you. You'll end up with nothing. He threw the check on the table and walked out. Emma stood there, shaking, tears streaming down her face. Everyone in the restaurant stared at her with pity or disgust. The waiter approached nervously. Miss? Are you okay? Emma grabbed her purse and ran. Out of the restaurant, into the cold night. She ran until her lungs burned and her legs gave out. She collapsed on a bench in a dark park, sobbing so hard she thought her body would break apart. Marcus didn't love her. He'd never loved her. She'd been a fool, a game, a distraction. And now she was pregnant with his baby. Emma looked at the check still clutched in her shaking hand. $50,000. More money than she'd ever seen. Blood money. The price Marcus put on their child's life. Emma tore it into tiny pieces and let the wind scatter them. Emma stood in Marcus's office building, security guards on either side of her. Please, she begged. I just need 5 minutes. Just to talk. Miss Clark, Mr. Williams has made it clear he doesn't want contact with you. The security guard's voice was firm but not unkind. If you come back, we'll have to call the police. Emma's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Stop harassing Mr. Williams or face legal consequences. This is your only warning. Williams Tech Legal Team. Fear shot through Emma's body. She had no money for lawyers. No family to help her. If Marcus wanted to destroy her, he could. That night, Emma made a decision. She would leave the city. She would start over somewhere Marcus could never find her. She would have this baby alone and build a life, a good life, without him. Emma packed one suitcase with everything she owned. She had $300 she'd saved secretly over the years, hidden in an old shoebox. As the bus pulled away from the city, Emma placed her hand on her still flat stomach. It's just you and me now, she whispered. But I promise I'll be enough. I'll give you everything I never had. You'll be loved and safe and happy. The city lights faded in the distance. Emma never looked back. Emma wiped flour off her hands and smiled at the chaos around her. Mommy. Lily took my crayon. Did not. Jake's a liar. The twins ran circles around the small kitchen, both talking at once, both refusing to listen. Emma's life now bore no resemblance to the girl who'd cried on that park bench 8 years ago. She lived in a small town 300 miles away from her old life. She'd finished her college degree online while pregnant, studying late into the night with textbooks balanced on her growing belly. Now she taught second grade at Maplewood Elementary. The pay wasn't much, but she loved it. Loved the kids, loved their bright faces and endless questions. And she had Jake and Lily. Her twins. Her whole world. The pregnancy had been hard and lonely. Emma gave birth with only a nurse holding her hand. But the moment she saw those two tiny faces, one boy, one girl, every painful moment became worth it. They had Marcus's dark hair and dark eyes. Sometimes Emma's heart ached when she looked at them, remembering what she'd lost. But mostly, she felt grateful. Jake and Lily saved her life. Gave her purpose. Gave her love bigger than anything she'd ever known. Okay, you two. Emma clapped her hands. Clean up this mess, then we're going to the store. Can we get ice cream? Jake's eyes went wide and hopeful. Can we, Mommy? Please. Lily clasped her hands together. Emma pretended to think hard. Well, I suppose if you're very good. The twins cheered and started cleaning up twice as fast. Emma grabbed her purse and car keys, smiling at the beautiful mess her life had become. She had no idea that in exactly 43 minutes, her past would come crashing back into her present. She had no idea that Marcus Williams was in town. And she had absolutely no idea what would happen when he saw her walking through the grocery store. With 2 8-year-old children who had his exact face. The grocery store was crowded. Emma pushed her cart down the cereal aisle, Jake and Lily arguing about which box to choose. The one with the dinosaur. Jake insisted. No, the princess one. Lily shot back. How about we get both and you share? Emma suggested, reaching for the boxes. That's when she heard it. A voice she'd spent 8 years trying to forget. The Williams Tech acquisition closes next week. Make sure the contracts are ready. Emma's blood turned to ice. She knew that voice. It lived in her nightmares, in the dark corners of her memory, and she tried to keep it locked away. Slowly, like a deer sensing danger, Emma turned her head. There, 3 aisles over, stood Marcus Williams. He looked different but the same. Older, with a few lines around his eyes. His suit probably cost more than Emma's entire year of rent. He stood surrounded by 3 men in similar suits, all nodding as he spoke. Emma's heart stopped. Her hands gripped the cart so hard her knuckles turned white. Run. Hide. Get the kids out of here. But her legs wouldn't move. She stood frozen, staring at the man who'd broken her heart and thrown her away like trash. Mommy. Lily tugged her sleeve. Are you okay? You look weird. Emma snapped back to reality. I'm fine, sweetie. Let's just... Excuse me, coming through. One of Marcus's assistants pushed past Emma's cart, not even looking at her. The movement caught Marcus's attention. His eyes swept over Emma casually, the way rich people look at poor people, barely seeing them at all. Then his gaze landed on Jake and Lily. Marcus froze. Emma watched his face change. Confusion first. Then recognition. Slow, dawning, terrible recognition. His eyes went wide. His mouth opened slightly. All the color drained from his face. He stared at Jake. Then at Lily. Then back at Jake. The resemblance was unmistakable. They were mini versions of Marcus. The same dark eyes, the same sharp features, the same way they tilted their heads when curious. Marcus looked like he'd seen a ghost. Emma. His voice came out strangled. Emma's protective instincts kicked in like a lightning bolt. She pushed her cart forward, trying to move past him. You're mistaken. I don't know you. She grabbed Jake's hand and Lily's hand, pulling them toward the exit. Wait. Marcus stepped in front of her cart. Emma, stop. Please. His assistants looked confused, glancing between their boss and this random woman. Mr. Williams? One of them asked. Is everything all right? Marcus didn't answer. He couldn't stop staring at the twins. How old are they? His voice shook. Emma lifted her chin. That's none of your business. Move aside. Mommy, who's this man? Jake asked, pressing closer to Emma. Nobody, baby. Nobody important. The words hit Marcus like a slap. Pain flashed across his face. Emma, please. We need to talk. We have nothing to talk about. Emma's voice was steel. You made that clear 8 years ago. She pushed past him, her cartwheels squeaking. Marcus followed. Emma, wait. Just give me 5 minutes. Please. No. Emma kept walking, moving faster. The twins had to jog to keep up. Are those my children? The question stopped Emma in her tracks. She turned slowly, her eyes blazing with a fury that had been building for 8 long years. Your children. Her voice was quiet but deadly. You gave up any right to call them that when you threw money at me and told me to get rid of the problem. Marcus's assistants gasped. One of them stepped back, looking uncomfortable. Sir, perhaps we should... One began. Leave, Marcus ordered, not taking his eyes off Emma. All of you. Now. The assistants hurried away, whispering to each other. Marcus took a step closer. Emma, I was wrong. I was cruel and stupid and wrong. Please, let me explain. Explain. Emma laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. Explain what? How do you call me a gold digger? How do you accuse me of trying to trap you? How were you engaged to someone else the whole time we were together? Lily looked up at Emma, worried. Mommy, why are you yelling? Emma took a deep breath, forcing herself to calm down. She crouched down to the twins' level. Go wait for me by the front door, okay? I'll be there in 1 minute. But... Jake started. Now, please. The twins recognized that tone. They walked toward the exit, looking back over their shoulders. Emma stood up and faced Marcus. Her hands trembled with rage. You want to know about your children? Fine. I'll tell you. Her voice was low and fierce. I was homeless for 2 months after you threw me away. I slept in my car until I couldn't afford gas anymore. Then I slept on park benches and in shelters. Marcus looked like she'd been punched. I was pregnant and alone and terrified. I had morning sickness so bad I could barely eat. But I kept going because I had to. Because I had 2 tiny lives depending on me. Tears streamed down Emma's face, but her voice stayed strong. I gave birth with no one holding my hand. No one to tell me I was doing great. No one to help when I brought them home to my tiny apartment with furniture from the dump. I fed them and changed them and held them when they cried, all by myself. Marcus's face crumpled. Emma, I'm so sorry. You don't get to be sorry. Emma's voice cracked. You don't get to walk back into my life after 8 years and feel bad. Those babies needed a father. They asked about you. Where's our daddy? Why doesn't he love us? Do you know what that feels like? Having to tell your children that their father didn't want them. What did you tell them? Marcus whispered. I told them their father lived far away and couldn't be with us. I told them it wasn't their fault. I told them they were loved and wanted and special. Emma wiped her eyes. I lied to protect you. To protect them from the truth. That their father thought they were nothing but a problem to throw money at. Marcus looked destroyed. I want to make this right. You can't. Emma picked up her purse. Some things can't be fixed with money or apologies. You made your choice 8 years ago. Now live with it. She started to walk away. I'll fight for custody. Emma spun around. What did you say? Marcus's face had changed. The vulnerability was gone, replaced by something harder. More familiar. They're my children too. I have rights. Fear exploded in Emma's chest. You wouldn't dare. I'm a Williams. I have the best lawyers in the country. I can prove I didn't know about them. I can prove you kept them from me. Marcus's voice turned cold and businesslike. A judge will give me partial custody at a minimum. Maybe full custody, given your financial situation. Emma felt like the ground had disappeared beneath her feet. You can't take them from me. I'm their mother. I've raised them alone for 8 years. And I'm their father. A father who can give them everything. The best schools, the best opportunities, the best life. Marcus stepped closer. Or we can do this the easy way. What easy way? Work with me. Let me be part of their lives. Let me help you. His voice softened. Emma, I know I messed up. But I'm different now. Let me prove it. Emma's mind raced. Could he really take her children? He had money, power, and lawyers. She had nothing. But she had something he'd never have, 8 years of memories, of love, of being there. I need time to think, Emma said finally. Take all the time you need. Marcus pulled out a business card. My personal number. Call me when you're ready to talk. Emma took the card like it might bite her. But Emma. Marcus's eyes were hard. Don't try to run. I'll find you. And if you do, I'll use it against you in court. Understand? Emma nodded numbly. She walked to the front of the store where Jake and Lily waited, looking worried and confused. Who was that man, Mommy? Lily asked as they got in the car. Emma's hands shook as she buckled their seatbelts. Just someone I used to know, baby. He looked sad, Jake observed. And he was staring at us weirdly. Emma drove home in silence, her mind spinning in 1,000 directions. The twins were finally asleep. Emma sat at her tiny kitchen table, Marcus's business card in front of her. Her phone rang. Unknown number. Emma's stomach dropped. She answered. Hello, Emma. It's Marcus. I told you I need time. I've been thinking. His voice was different. Softer. Can I come over? To your house? I want to meet them properly. As their father. Absolutely not. Please. I'm begging you. Marcus sounded broken. I know I don't deserve it. But they deserve to know their father. Don't they? Emma closed her eyes. She dreamed about this moment for years. Marcus realizing his mistake, wanting to be part of their lives. But in her dreams, it felt different. Not like a threat. Not like losing control. Tomorrow, she heard herself say. Come tomorrow at 3. After they're home from school. Thank you. Marcus's voice cracked. Thank you, Emma. He hung up. Emma put her head in her hands. What had she just agreed to? Emma barely slept. She spent the morning cleaning her small house obsessively, then realized how stupid that was. Marcus lived in a penthouse. Her little rental would look like a shack to him. At 2:45, she sat the twins down. Guys, we need to talk about something important. They looked up from their coloring books, identical expressions of curiosity. Emma took a deep breath. Remember how you've asked about your daddy? Jake's eyes went huge. Is he coming here? Yes. He's been living far away, but he wants to meet you. Why now? Lily asked. She was the more suspicious twin, always asking the hard questions. It's complicated, sweetie. But he wants to know you. Is that okay? The twins looked at each other, having one of their silent twin conversations. Okay, they said together. At exactly 3 o'clock, the doorbell rang. Emma opened it with shaking hands. Marcus stood on her tiny porch, looking completely out of place in his expensive suit. He held 2 wrapped boxes. Gifts. His eyes were red, like he'd been crying. Hi, he said quietly. Come in. Marcus stepped inside. His gaze swept over the small living room, the worn couch, the cheap TV, the children's drawings covering every wall. Jake and Lily peeked around the corner, half hidden behind Emma. Marcus's breath caught. Up close, the resemblance was even more striking. He crouched down to their level, making himself smaller, less threatening. Hi, he said softly. I'm Marcus. Your dad. The twins stared at him. You look like us, Jake said finally. Marcus laughed, but it came out choked. Yeah, I do. Why did you live far away? Lily demanded, hands on her hips. Marcus glanced at Emma, then back at Lily. I made a very big mistake. The biggest mistake of my life. I should have been here from the beginning. Mommy said you couldn't be with us, Jake said. Your mommy was being kind. The truth is, I wasn't smart enough to understand how important you are. How lucky I was. Marcus's voice broke. But I understand now. And I'm here. If you'll let me. Lily studied him suspiciously. Are you going to leave again? Never. I promise. Promises can be broken, Lily said, sounding far older than 8. Marcus looked at Emma. She saw her own pain reflected in his eyes, the pain of a child who'd learned too young that adults lie. You're right, Marcus said to Lily. Promises can be broken. So I won't just promise. I'll prove it. Every day. For as long as it takes. Jake took a tentative step forward. What's in the boxes? Marcus smiled. Presents. But only if your mom says it's okay. All 3 of them looked at Emma. She wanted to say no. Wanted to kick Marcus out and protect her babies from the man who could hurt them like he hurt her. But she saw the hope in Jake and Lily's eyes. The hunger for a father they'd never had. It's okay, Emma whispered. The twins tore into the presents. Jake got a remote control robot. Lily got an art set with every color imaginable. Cool. Jake breathed. Look, Mommy. Real oil paints. Lily's eyes shone. For the next hour, Emma watched Marcus sit on her worn carpet, playing with their children. He was surprisingly good with them. Patient, funny, interested in everything they said. Jake showed him every drawing he'd ever made. Lily explained her imaginary friend in great detail. Marcus listened to every word like it was the most important thing he'd ever heard. Can we show him our room? Jake asked Emma. Emma nodded. The twins dragged Marcus down the hallway. Emma followed, watching Marcus take in every detail. The bunk beds Emma had assembled herself, the shared closet bursting with second-hand clothes, the bookshelf filled with library books. It's small, but it's ours, Lily said proudly. It's perfect, Marcus said, his voice thick. You've done an amazing job decorating it. When the twins went to get more drawings to show him, Marcus turned to Emma. They're incredible, he whispered. Smart and funny and kind. You did that. All by yourself. Don't. Emma's voice was hard. Don't act like you're proud when you weren't here. You're right. I have no right. Marcus looked at the floor. But Emma, I want to be here now. However, you'll let me. Whatever rules you want. Please. Before Emma could answer, Lily came running back. Daddy. Look at this one. It's a dragon. Daddy. The word hit Marcus like a train. Tears spilled down his face. It's beautiful, sweetheart, he managed to say. Emma felt her own eyes burning. This was what she'd wanted for so long. Her children having a father, being loved, being wanted. But the fear was still there, dark and heavy. What if Marcus got bored again? What if he hurt them? What if he took them away? Marcus had been coming over every day after work. At first, Emma stayed close, watching every interaction like a hawk. But slowly, she started to relax. Marcus was good with the twins. The patient they were cranky. Silly when they needed to laugh. Gentle when they were sad. He read them bedtime stories in different voices. He helped Jake build elaborate robot cities. He spent hours listening to Lily's wild tales. And he never, not once, mentioned money or lawyers or custody. One evening, after the twins were asleep, Emma and Marcus sat on the porch. The night was warm and filled with cricket songs. I've been thinking, Marcus said quietly, about what you asked 8 years ago. Emma's heart clenched. You asked why I did it. Why was I so cruel? Marcus stared at his hands. The truth is, I was scared. Terrified. My whole life was planned out. The right schools, the right job, the right marriage. Everything controlled. He looked at Emma. Then you came along. You made me feel things I'd never felt. Real things. Messy, complicated, beautiful things. And it terrified me because I couldn't control it. So you destroyed it, Emma said flatly. Yes. When you told me you were pregnant, I panicked. It wasn't part of the plan. So I convinced myself you were lying, that you were after my money. It was easier than admitting I was afraid of loving you. Emma's throat tightened. What about Veronica? Your engagement? Marcus laughed bitterly. We got married. It lasted 2 years. She was having an affair with her tennis instructor. Our divorce was finalized 4 years ago. I'm sorry. Don't be. It was never real. Not like us. Marcus turned to face her. I've spent 8 years regretting what I did. Building my company bigger and bigger, thinking success would fill the hole. But it didn't. Nothing did. Why are you telling me this? Because I need you to know. I'm not that scared boy anymore. I'm not going to run. I'm not going to hurt you or the kids. His voice was fierce. You can trust me, Emma. I swear it. Emma wanted to believe him. God, she wanted to so badly. But trust takes time to build. And Marcus had shattered hers into 1,000,000 pieces. I don't know if I can, she admitted. Then I'll wait. Marcus's eyes were steady. However long it takes. Emma woke up at 2 a.m. to someone knocking frantically on her door. She grabbed the baseball bat she kept by her bed and crept to the door. Emma. It's Marcus. Open up. Emma threw open the door. Marcus stood there in sweatpants and a t-shirt, looking panicked. What's wrong? Are you okay? It's not me. It's Lily. Marcus pulled out his phone, showing her a text from an unknown number. We have information about Lily Williams's biological father. Contact us or we go to the press. You have 24 hours. Emma's blood ran cold. Who sent this? I don't know. But Emma, if this gets out... Marcus ran his hands through his hair. The media will destroy you. They'll call you every name in the book. Gold digger. Liar. Manipulator. I don't care what they call me. But the twins will care. They'll read it. Their classmates will read it. Marcus's eyes were desperate. I can't let that happen to them. To you. Emma's mind raced. What do? We get ahead of it. We control the narrative. Marcus took Emma's hands. We tell the truth. Our story. Before someone else tells a twisted version. How? I'm holding a press conference tomorrow. I'll explain everything. My mistakes, your strength, our children. I'll make sure the world knows you're not a gold digger. You're a hero. Emma shook her head. I don't want to be in the spotlight. I just want to protect my kids. Our kids, Marcus corrected gently. And this is how we protect them. We show the world what an amazing mother you are. We show them that our family might be unusual, but it's real and strong. Emma looked at this man, this complicated, flawed, trying man. Okay, she whispered. Okay. Marcus stood behind a podium, cameras flashing like lightning. Emma stood beside him, holding Jake and Lily's hands. The twins wore their best clothes, still from thrift stores, but clean and pressed. They looked scared but brave. Marcus cleared his throat. Thank you all for coming. I have a statement to make, and I won't be taking questions. The room went silent. 8 years ago, I made the worst mistake of my life. I hurt someone I loved. I rejected my own children before they were born. I was cruel and cowardly. Gasps rippled through the crowd. The woman beside me, Emma Clark, is the mother of my children. When she told me she was pregnant, I didn't believe her. I accused her of terrible things. I offered her money to disappear. Emma felt tears on her cheeks. Marcus's voice was strong and clear. Emma took nothing from me. She raised our children alone, Jake and Lily. Marcus gestured to the twins. She worked multiple jobs. She went to school. She gave them everything while I gave them nothing. A reporter tried to shout a question, but Marcus held up his hand. Recently, I discovered the truth. And I've spent every day since trying to earn back what I threw away. Emma is not a gold digger. She's a hero. She's the strongest person I've ever known. Marcus turned to Emma. I don't deserve forgiveness. But I'm asking for a chance. A chance to be the father I should have been from the beginning. A chance to support the woman who did it all alone. He looked back at the cameras. To anyone trying to blackmail us or twist this story, you're too late. The truth is out. And the truth is I was wrong, Emma was right, and these children are loved. Marcus stepped back from the podium. Reporters exploded with questions, but security held them back. Emma, Marcus, and the twins walked out together. Emma stood in her new classroom, bigger and brighter than her old one. After the press conference, everything changed. Marcus had set up a trust fund for the twins' education. He'd helped Emma buy a real house with a yard. Nothing too fancy, but theirs. More importantly, he'd kept his promise. He came to every school play, every soccer game, every parent-teacher conference. He learned to braid Lily's hair and helped Jake with homework. He was present. Reliable. Emma's phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. Picking up the kids from school today. Making spaghetti for dinner. You're invited. Please come. Jake says my sauce needs Mommy's magic touch. Emma smiled. They weren't together. Not as a couple. That would take more time, more healing. Maybe it would never happen. But they were family. Messy, complicated, real family. Emma had spent so long being angry, being hurt. And she was allowed to be. Marcus had earned every bit of that pain. But holding on to it forever wouldn't help anyone. Especially not Jake and Lily. Her children had a father now. A real one. Imperfect, but trying. Growing. Learning. And Emma. She was learning too. Learning that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. Learning that trust can be rebuilt, one day at a time. Learning that sometimes the ending you get isn't the one you imagined, but it's still good. That evening, Emma walked into Marcus's house. He'd downsized to something more family-friendly, and found chaos. Jake had sauce in his hair. Lily was singing at the top of her lungs. Marcus looked frazzled and happy, trying to stir 3 pots at once. Mommy! The twins tackled her in a hug. Help! Marcus mouthed over their heads, eyes twinkling. Emma laughed. Come on, team. Let's save dinner. They cooked together, the 4 of them bumping into each other in the kitchen, laughing and talking over each other. Later, after the twins were asleep on Marcus's couch, they'd insisted on a movie marathon. Emma and Marcus sat on the back porch. Thank you, Marcus said quietly. For what? For giving me a chance. For not giving up on me when you had every right to. He looked at her. I know I can never make up for those 8 years. But I promise I'll spend the rest of my life trying. Emma studied his face, older now, marked by regret and growth and determination. You know what I learned? Emma said. Pain doesn't last forever. And neither does anger. You have to choose what to hold on to. What are you holding on to? Emma looked through the window at her sleeping children, their faces peaceful and loved. Hope, she said simply. I'm holding on to hope. Marcus reached for her hand. Emma let him take it. They sat in comfortable silence, watching the stars come out one by one. The past couldn't be changed. The hurt couldn't be erased. But the future? The future was unwritten.